welcome to UCTV News. I'm Chloe Vincenti.
And I'm Matt Schenk. The University of Connecticut and Design Build Team leader, KBE Building Corporation, held a topping off ceremony for the new Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Residence Hall on the Storrs campus. The building will cost $79 million and will be a multi-story residence hall with STEM components. As part of the ceremony, all project team members, subcontractors, and guests signed the final 2 precast beams. KBE Building Corporation staff placed the final 2 beams attached to an evergreen and an American flag to symbolize pride and the building coming to life. Substantial completion of the building is scheduled for the summer of 2016.
The University of Connecticut women's basketball team will be honored at the White House on Tuesday by President Barack Obama to celebrate their 10th NCAA National Championship win. The Huskies were also at the White House last year and the year before after winning their 8th and 9th titles. Last year, the men's team, also NCAA champions, accompanied the women's team. Obama is continuing the tradition started by recent U.S. presidents and will host the UConn women for the 5th time.
The University of Connecticut launched a new website this week aiming to help students deal with sexual assault on campus. The site, title9.uconn.edu, provides information on the school's sexual assault policies and how to report assaults to university officials and police. It also has links to medical services and counseling, as well as information for friends, family, and partners on how they can support a victim of sexual assault or harassment. This is one of many steps UConn has taken to prevent sexual assaults on campus since settling a lawsuit last year that claimed the school did not take the issue seriously.
Worried about paying off college loans after graduation? Will keep the stress levels down. A new study shows UConn graduates are above average when it comes to making money. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the typical UConn graduate has a salary of about $54,000, which is significantly higher than the $45,000 the average graduate earns. However, UConn does have some catching up to do. Sacred Heart University in Fairfield is the state leader in average salaries, which their graduates earning $69,000 per year.
The University of Connecticut broke ground Wednesday on a new $95 million engineering and science building that will bolster efforts to expand and strengthen research programs. Now my co-anchor Chloe Vincente has the news with the groundbreaking ceremony last week, so let's take a look.
Ground is being broken this morning at the University of Connecticut Storrs campus on a new engineering and science building. President Susan Herbst along with Governor Daniel P. Malloy are here along with state and corporate leaders for the ceremony. The new engineering and science building is a part of Governor Malloy's Next Generation Connecticut initiative. Next Gen focuses on improving science, technology, engineering, and math programs at UConn through new resources, such as this building, with the goal of strengthening Connecticut's future workforce and economy.
Yeah, I think Connecticut deserves to have this level of investment in its flagship university. I believe this university needs to grow and by growing drive Connecticut's economy as well.
The current engineering facilities on campus are outdated and cannot support the growth of new engineering programs. The new engineering and science building will have a state-of-the-art laboratory for several types of sciences that will support research and convergence technologies.
This is an exciting day for many reasons. First, it gets right to the heart of what a great research university does, providing world-class facilities for students and faculty members whose research and innovation will shape our world in ways that we can scarcely begin to imagine.
I think this building is just going to be tremendous, both for the university and for the state. You could hear it today. The growth that they've already had in the number of engineering students and how that ties directly to Connecticut's economy and key companies that are here in Connecticut like UTC and GE, making sure that they stay here and making sure that they have the qualified people right here in Connecticut to take jobs at those companies and run those companies in the years to come.
As you can see, many people are gathered here today in celebration of the new engineering and science building, which will be completed by the fall of 2017. For UCTV News, I'm Chloe Vincenti. It was so amazing to see all those people there gathered in support of the new building and seeing how everybody there that was bringing everything together, and I can't wait to see it once it goes up.
Absolutely. It's so exciting to see the growth of not only the UConn community, but the state getting involved as well. I can't wait to see the finished product.
For sure. Coming up, find out what's going on in the rest of Connecticut. Stay tuned.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You look bored. You look like you need a homework break. Do you know what's going on at UConn? Do you want to be entertained? Then go to the UCTV channel 14 at youtube.com. youtube.com/the UCTV channel 14. You're welcome.
Danbury Superintendent Sal Pascarella announced Sunday that the school district will be implementing new safety programs this week developed by the anti-violence organization Sandy Hook Promise. One initiative launching this week is the Say Something campaign, which teaches students to recognize when their classmates are in danger to themselves or others. Officials will later implement the Start With Hello campaign, which teaches students to reach out to isolated peers. The program was created based on research, which suggests that in 70% of gun violence cases, at least one person was told about the act before it happened. Sandy Hook Promise was launched by the parents of some of the victims killed in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Pascarella is advocating for the program to be implemented statewide.
A Connecticut judge will be hearing from mental health experts this week to determine whether a man charged with killing a Yale University physician is competent to stand trial. 49-year-old Lisan Wang, who is also a doctor at Yale, shot and killed Dr. Vajinder Tor outside of Tor's Branford home in 2010. Wang was ruled mentally incompetent last April. However, psychiatrists determined his competency could be restored once he received proper treatment. Authorities say the shooting stemmed from a dispute the doctors had a few years earlier while working at the Kingbrook Jewish Medical Center in New York City.
A 40-year-old Norwich man who is also a member of the United States Navy was arrested after TSA agents found a loaded gun in his carry-on bag at a Syracuse Hancock International Airport checkpoint on Sunday. Transportation Security Administration agents found a .32 caliber semi-automatic handgun with 8 bullets in Bass's carry-on luggage. According to Syracuse police, Timothy Bass was traveling to his base in Honolulu and said he forgot the weapon was in his bag. TSA officers say they immediately contacted the Syracuse Police Department for assistance.
According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Connecticut is experiencing drought conditions after an unusually hot summer. Most of the shoreline is under moderate drought conditions, and most of inland Connecticut is not far behind, labeled abnormally dry. These drought conditions are caused by high temperatures, a lack of precipitation, and low soil moisture. Experts say that there is hope, but it will take consistent rain for more than a month to remedy the situation.
Yeah, I'd say by the looks of it up here in Stores this weekend, we had plenty of rain, so maybe we're at the end of these drought conditions.
Well, hopefully, but at least we're not California, because they have been experiencing a lot of wildfires. And maybe that's due to the dry conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up, learn more about the top stories from around the United States. Stay tuned. Kim Davis returned to work Monday for the first time since she was jailed for denying marriage licenses to gay couples. Davis began working this morning on the condition that she will not interfere with other deputy clerks who issue marriage licenses. Davis has told reporters she would not authorize her deputies to process licenses for same-sex couples, but if they chose to, she would not take action against them. Davis is still pressing a court case on the underlying issue of whether a state official can assert a religious objection to issuing a same-sex marriage license.
A male professor was shot and killed at Mississippi's Delta State University Monday, according to Bolivar County Deputy Coroner Murray Rourke. The victim was in his office at the time of the shooting, Rourke said, adding that the shooter remains at large. Delta State, which is located in Cleveland, Mississippi, had earlier tweeted that at least one person was killed in a shooting. The school tweeted on its official account that the campus was on lockdown and advised that everyone stay indoors and away from windows. Additional details are still being investigated.
A bullet pierced the side of a tractor-trailer on a Phoenix freeway Thursday, and police say they are treating it as the 11th attack in a string of shootings over the past 2 weeks that have terrorized Arizona drivers. The governor pleaded for the public's help early last Thursday, and authorities said they could be dealing with more than one gunman. The bullet hole in the semi was reported Thursday morning, and the police were checking out at least one other report that could be related. Police say drivers have been lucky so far, for the only injury has been a 13-year-old girl who was cut by flying glass when the window of her car was shattered by a bullet.
Hundreds of buildings have been lost to a fast-moving Northern California wildfire that has forced thousands to flee. According to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, the so-called Valley Fire in Lake County, which is northwest of Sacramento, erupted early Saturday afternoon and rapidly burned through brush and trees parched from several years of the drought. The fire spread quickly, growing from 50 acres to 50,000 acres by Sunday afternoon. In a briefing at the Napa County Fairgrounds, which has been turned into an evacuation center, officials said that the blaze was still at 0% containment. Governor Jerry Brown declared a state of emergency in Lake County less than 24 hours after the fire sparked, and CAL FIRE called all personnel to report to duty, canceling any scheduled days off. 1,000 firefighters were dedicated to battling the valley blaze as of Sunday morning.
I couldn't imagine being uprooted from my home, but thank God we have officials that are taking action. And
hopefully they can get that under control as soon as possible.
yeah, absolutely.
Coming up next, find out the latest on the 2016 race for the White House. Stay tuned.
Former Texas Governor Rick Perry announced Friday he is suspending his presidential campaign, making him the first Republican candidate to end his 2016 White House bid. Perry's struggling campaign failed to gain momentum in the crowded GOP field. A CNN and ORC poll released last week found Perry getting less than 1% from support of Republican voters nationally. Last month, his campaign stopped paying staffers amid fundraising troubles, but super PACs supporting his bid had raised nearly $17 million and hoped to help compensate for the money woes.
On Saturday, Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina further responded to Donald Trump's recent derisive comments about her appearance while answering a question about the businessman's contributions to the level of discourse in the 2016 presidential race. Fiorina told reporters, "I think Donald Trump is an entertainer, and I think I am a leader." She also confirmed that she does not plan on asking Trump to apologize for his comments because there's a long line of people asking him to apologize.
Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton laid out a proposal Monday to combat the epidemic of sexual assault on college campuses. At a Women for Hillary event in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Clinton said that every student deserves a safe environment in which to learn and thrive, not live in fear, and that it is not enough to condemn campus sexual assault. We need to end campus sexual assault. This is the first time Clinton is addressing the issue on the campaign trail.
Viewers, be warned, a heated presidential debate is coming your way. The Republican candidates will face off at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California on Wednesday, and many of the candidates have the same goal in mind. What is the common theme? They all want to take down Republican frontrunner Donald Trump. Billionaire Trump has been known on the campaign trail for his blunt, sometimes degrading remarks toward fellow candidates, and some say they've had enough. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul told the Associated Press, "Someone has to bring him down. I'm not going to sit quietly by and let the disaster that is Donald Trump become the nominee."
I don't know about you, Abby, but I'm very excited for this debate on Wednesday. I think it's going to tell a lot about several different candidates.
You know, I am too, and there's so many candidates still in the race right now that hopefully the debate will really help narrow the large pool down a little bit for
Absolutely,
some
it's going to be
people.
quite exciting to see. Coming up, we take a look at this week in UConn sports. Stay tuned. Now it's time for your weekly UConn sports update with Anthony DiBernardo.
Thanks, Matt. The UConn field hockey team moved to 6-0 on their season after a well-fought victory against the 10th-ranked Boston College yesterday. The Huskies won by a final score of 2-1 after they notched 2 penalty shots, the first from junior Anna Middendorf and the second from Charlotte Weitner. The team looks ahead to their next game this Sunday against Lafayette, where they hope to stay undefeated. The UConn women's soccer team, ranked 20th in the nation, suffered their first loss of the season yesterday against the 19th-ranked Rutgers by a score of 2-0. Despite outshooting the Scarlet Knights 18-13, the Huskies could not crack the Rutgers defense or produce any promising scoring opportunities against Rutgers goalkeeper Casey Murphy. The team hopes to get back on track when they face Central Connecticut on the road this Friday. The UConn football team is 2-0 for the first time since 2008 after they defeated Army over the weekend. Connecticut redshirt sophomore quarterback Bryant Sheriffs threw for 270 yards, and the Huskies got 2 touchdown runs from sophomore running backs Arkeel Newsom and Ron Johnson as the Huskies football team defeated Army 22-17. UConn has not won back-to-back games since the end of the 2013 season, in which it won 3 straight. The team travels to Missouri this Saturday for a game starting at noon. The UConn men's soccer team was down 1-0 with less than 7 minutes remaining in their game against UC Santa Barbara yesterday. Freshman forward Bake Jam tallied his first 2 career goals in a span of 2 minutes and 19 seconds to give the Huskies a dramatic 2-1 come-from-behind victory. The team extended their unbeaten streak to 12 games dating back to the 2014 season and scored its 4th second-half goal in its last 2 matches. Their next game is this Saturday at Joseph Maroney Stadium, where they take on the Rhode Island Rams. And don't forget to check out UC Sports tomorrow night for more analysis of this week in UConn sports. Now, stay tuned for more UCTV news.
That does it for us here tonight at UCTV News.
Be sure to follow us at our Twitter at UCTV News for constant updates from around the University of Connecticut, and tune in Thursday for another edition of UCTV News.